Hi everyone, I'm Stephen Lim. I'm the infectious disease physician in Hospital Raja Permaisuri Bayan Ipoh, Perak. I'm also the principal investigator for ITEC study. So ITEC study was a multi-centered clinical trial that was designed and conducted to evaluate the efficacy of ivermectin as an early treatment for COVID-19. So at the end of the studies, we have found that ivermectin was not effective in preventing or reducing the risk of progression to severe disease. And we managed to publish a paper in JAMA Internal Medicine on the 18th of February this year, 2022. And our paper has actually received massive global attention, particularly from the scientific community as well as the media and also the lay public. And I think mainly because of the controversial nature of ivermectin in COVID-19.
My best moment. Well, of course, my best moment is when the recruitment's finished. So it sort of take off a huge burden from me. But of course, on top of that, my best moment is when our study was published. So the publication of our study actually is a recognition to our work.
So it's a very long journey, right from the start, where we design a trial with the concept, we design the trial, we submit for approval. Took about 2 or 3 months before we managed to get the drugs, import the drugs from overseas, because ivermectin was not approved to be used even for parasitic infections in our country.
It was quite a big success for the whole study team. I want to credit to all my study members, particularly the principal investigators from each study sites, my project manager, Dr. Billy, who has helped me to lessen my burden. So it's quite challenging because as a principal investigator, I have to oversee the whole projects during the conduct of the study. So I think Dr. Billy had actually helped me a lot in making sure that everything goes goes according to plan. And also big thanks to ICR as well. I think Dr. Kala and his team has been very supportive, not just from beginning. Of course, beginning they have given us a lot of ideas, supported us in terms of finding the best methodologies. And then during the process of the studies as well, they've been supporting us in terms of monitoring of the study conduct and making sure that everything goes according to the research ethics and go according to the plan. So I think eventually it's a teamwork. It's a Malaysian teamwork. I don't think there's many locally done clinical trials, especially investigator-initiated trial that has involved so many people and has managed to complete in such a short time, within a year, and we managed to publish the paper in a high-impact journal like JAMA Internal Medicine, and it's certainly a big achievement for us.
Vigilance study is an immunogenicity surveillance. So in particular, we look at the antibody responses as well as cell-mediated responses such as T cell and B cells activation. So in this cohort study, we recruited healthcare workers who have received Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine as their primary dose. We followed up with these participants, we collected their blood samples and conducted short surveys with them for every 3 to 6 months. So as of now, over the course of 1.5 years, we have collected enough data to plot antibody trends of these participants.
When HKL site was first approached, we took a great interest in the study and agreed to collaborate with ICR and the Sabah site investigator in making this study a success. Together with my dedicated team in CRC HKL, we planned out the details of conduct and managed to recruit 300 participants from our center. So we also need to maintain close communication with the participants, where it's a two-way, where they can report any COVID infection, and we always remind them of the study visits. Best moment. Almost every time. Every time is the best moment because I learned something new from you.
Including today's interview.
Yes, it's my first time.
How do you feel?
Excited and really thanks the opportunity to be part of the interview and also part of the study.
I hope that CCE or ICR will get more opportunities to conduct important studies like this, and I'm also hoping that we can bring up our colleagues in other CRCs which are scattered all around Malaysia, and to be on board in studies with us so we can grow together as a big institute and family.
I'm Dr. Yasmin Ghani. I'm one of the infectious disease consultants from Hospital Sungai Buloh. I also happen to be the principal investigator for Sungai Buloh site for the global WHO Solidarity Trial. So Solidarity Trial was actually started in 2020. At that point, when it was started in 2020, actually the COVID-19 cases were coming down. But we were getting enough cases to sort of start off the project. So the overview of the Solidarity Trial is this global initiative which was started by WHO, where they actually wanted to look at all these little evidence and case reports that basically looked at repurposing drugs for COVID-19 and looking at the impact. Globally, we are one of the 52 countries and 600 hospitals have actually contributed towards the data. So the impact of Solidarity Trial, although the recruitment process is actually very simple, fast, rapid, and output of data that supports the clinical management and the evidence behind the treatment and management of COVID-19. In Malaysia itself, there are about 10 sites that recruit patients, and in total from the time that we started in 2020, up to date, we actually have about 297 patients enrolled into Solidarity Trial as well as Solidarity Plus in total. Globally, we are one of the 52 countries and 600 hospitals have actually contributed towards the data. So the impact of Solidarity Trial, although the recruitment process is actually very simple, fast, rapid, and output of data that supports the clinical management and the evidence behind the treatment and management of COVID-19. I've always believed, as a clinician and as a part-time, small-level researcher, you can call me that, and I believe perseverance is key. Now, Solidarity Plus is still ongoing, and we are still looking at all the other or newly repurposed drugs and see whether in any way this could actually have an impact on COVID-19. So this sends a very powerful message. The powerful message that we want to send to everyone is, I don't think it's ever time to give up. Resilience and perseverance is probably the key to many successes out there. Now we have a lot of emerging diseases which are actually coming about, right? And I do believe that we have all the resources and the knowledge that we have procured so far that would help us pass through the future a bit more readily compared to when we first started in 2020.
So basically, a bunch of economists from central bank, and at the peak of the crisis, we were decided let's try this thing called public health and epidemiology, and I went all the way into MOH, seconded to MOH. At that time, we were in the COVID immunization task force, and YBKJ just set up a research and analytics unit there at CITF, and we thought, hey, it's vaccine policy. You need some information about how well they're working, how they work in the real world. So let's study it. I mean, we're a bunch of economists, we don't know much about public health, but well, we can get our way around because we know the methodology, and we thought, let's reach out to the experts as well. And as it turns out, there's this bunch of amazing researchers already at ICR who were looking into this and thought, that was a starting point.
It's just like those frontliners. We were frontliners during that period, and we were like constantly 24/7 trying to respond to policy making. No weekends. Must remember, you used to creep out of your room midnight. Do you want to relate that episode?
Just because I'm slower than some people
I know.
and I analyze, but yeah, no, the analysis is fun doing it. I must admit, and the fact that we had objectives thrown at us weekly or even bi-weekly, it was something that we had to work on, and we can't just. It takes time. It takes time to actually clean the data and analyze it. But it was a fun thing to do. It was a fun journey. The first one was because of the first effectiveness of vaccine effectiveness in Malaysia. The second study, I don't know whether it changed the policy or it recommended something to the guideline. We presented it to the CITF meeting, and then we were finding things that was unique to Malaysia because of the different vaccines that we were using. So that was, I think it caught people by surprise. And then we had the top managers, giving guideline based on the finding itself, which I find is, quite rare. Coming from ICR, the study has to be something to change, the practice in the field.